up to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, Torrey Horton back to the end zone.
48-yard play. Guess who? Body up the middle, making another move to the outside. 15, 10, end zone again.
Keeps it. Nice move by Brown. He's got space. He's got 6. 35-yard touchdown for Byron Brown. A record-setting night for the South Florida quarterback.
Down so far, a little bit of a high snap. Genty right up the middle. Genty has room. Ashton Genty, give him 6.
Second and long. Lagar tries to fit it in. Runnels, it does. Runnels stays up. The Suns offense 4-3 wins. Incredible effort for Runnels.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive Live. We are excited to bring you the G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I am Luke. I'm joined by my co-host, Justice. We're only 6 subscribers away from 500 on YouTube. So if you're watching us on X, which I see a lot of you are, head over to YouTube, hit a sub there. We would appreciate it. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching us on X, please give us a follow, a like, a retweet. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review. Don't forget, the G5 Hive merchandise store is now live. Link in the YouTube comments as well as pinned on our X page and here at the bottom of the screen.
All right. Next up, the MAC championship game, the battle for the bricks. It's going to come down to the MAC championship game, Ohio versus Miami, Ohio. The game is played in Detroit, noon Eastern, Saturday on ESPN. What do we have for injuries, Luke?
More so just who we got coming back. Ohio got Coleman Owen back this last week, had a big game, and Miami had Cade McDonald back, had a pretty good game, and there's a nice relationship there between Brett Gabbert and Cade McConnell when he is healthy. So I look for these two to be pivotal in the matchup, but otherwise pretty healthy.
All right, players to know, and those two guys are certainly two of the players to know. But when Miami has the ball, quarterback Brett Gabbert, the younger brother of Blaine Gabbert, if you remember him, former. He played Missouri, right? That's where he played at, and then he's been in the NFL. Jacksonville Jaguars drafted him pretty early. He was a first round. He was their first. I don't think he was number 1 overall, but he was top 10. But anyway, Brett Gabbert, the younger brother, he's had a great year for Miami. This is his final year of eligibility, and they kind of go as he goes. If he can have a great game, they can certainly have a great game. They have a great defense as well. If you're not relying on Brett Gabbert and you want to know about the running back, Keon Mosey, he's kind of led them the last few weeks. The only thing I will say is he does the dirty work. He gets them down the goal line, but they don't give him the ball to run it in.
Which is just atrocious. I mean, he does all that work. Give him a touchdown. I think he's only got 1 on the year or something. Real dumb.
Yeah. But he's run the ball really well the last couple of weeks. They just don't feed him at the goal line for whatever reason. But that passing game, they got a trio of receivers that can all beat you at any moment. You mentioned Cade McDonald. He was kind of early on their number 1 guy. Been injured off and on. Had a great game this past week. Javon Tracy is kind of had some great games as well. He's the guy in the slot. And then Reggie Virgil, another outside guy that, when Cade's not in there, has had a great game. So they got 3 really good options for Brett Gabbert to throw the ball to. When Miami has the ball, you look at the Ohio defense, and they're no slouch. If you're looking at who's going to be the guys trying to sack Brett Gabbert, you got defensive ends Bradley Weaver and Marcel Walker Burgess. We've talked about them numerous times this year. They both have been on our Havoc list for our top 5 defensive ends throughout the year. Bradley Weaver's been on there fairly consistently, but Burgess made a couple appearances as well. Those are the 2 guys that'll be trying to sack Brett Geber. And then linebacker Shea Taylor. He's kind of a do-it-all linebacker. He's good in run support, good in tackles, and he seems to play big in big games and has big moments in big games, whether it be a big sack or an interception. Shea Taylor, definitely a great player at linebacker for the Bobcats, as well as Blake Leak. They make a great tandem there at linebacker. And the defensive backs for Ohio are no slouch either. You got safety Austin Brawley, cornerback Roman Parody, and cornerback Tank Pearson, all good players. This is going to be a really, really good game. I'm really excited to watch this game. When Ohio has the ball, we've talked about Parker Navarro many times on this show. The key for Parker Navarro is not turning the ball over. He's dual threat. He's been effective, especially in MAC play. He's run the ball for over 100 yards the last several weeks, couple touchdowns. The key is to not have the interceptions. That has been a problem a few times this year for Parker. So hopefully he can.
That's going to cause some turnovers. It's going to be this Miami team, and I like Miami in this one.
When running back Anthony Tyus III out of Northwestern had a phenomenal year running the ball for Ohio. And then, as you mentioned in the beginning, wide receiver Coleman Oman, their top target. He's easily the favorite target of Parker Navarro. And the Miami defense, man. When Ohio has the ball, the Miami defense is no slouch. They've played phenomenal here in the second half of the year. If you're looking for the guys that are going to get havoc, that are going to sack and cause tackles for losses, it starts with Brian Ugwu, their defensive end. Phenomenal talent, phenomenal player along that defensive line for Miami. They got 2 all-conference caliber linebackers, and Matt Salopek and Ty Wise, both really, really good. And then cornerback Rayon Strader. He's kind of, I don't feel like he gets the recognition he deserves. Phenomenal player. He was I think he was a freshman All-American last year. He's had a phenomenal year this year. I expect him to be locked up on Coleman Owen. I'm with you. Like if I have to pick a winner, I'm going to lean towards Miami. I think their defense is a little bit better. I think they're a little bit less turnover prone than Ohio is. The current line is Miami favored by 2.5, over under 44.5. And I think that's pretty close. I think it should be a great game. I think as long as the Bobcats don't turn the ball over a lot, I think this is going to be a really fun, really exciting game, really close game. Definitely, in my opinion, I think at the end of the day, these are the 2 best teams in the MAC. I think we both had Miami of Ohio in the championship game. And Ohio was one of my dark horses. I didn't have them in the championship game, but they were my number 3 team preseason when we talked about the MAC. They had a lot of turnover, but their defense and quarterback Parker Navarro have played really, really well.
All right, that does it. Those are our conference previews. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Come back and join us next week as we discuss what happened in all of the G5 Conference Championship games, and always bring you up to date on the latest news and happenings in the world of G5 college football. If you're watching us on X, please give us a retweet, a like, and a follow. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please subscribe, leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Again, we're only like 6 away on YouTube for subscribers to being at 500. Go out there and sub to that. We would appreciate it. And thank you all for your support. Until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.